Good morning to my dear students. Welcome to the class 7. I am Satish Kumar, your science teacher at Dr. Beeson School. In the previous class, we have discussed about balanced diet. What is meant by a balanced diet? Yes, the diet which contains all the components of food in correct amounts is said to be known as balanced diet. And everyone needs to take this balanced diet in order to have the proper development and growth of the body. Isn't it? These are all the concepts you have learnt in the previous video. And we learnt about thali, where different types of food items have been shown in that, and we have you have been learned that there is no need to take all those food items that were shown in the thali, but you can make sure that your diet, whatever you take, should contain all the components of the food in correct nutrients. Is it okay? And then we have learnt about how to maintain a balanced diet. Make sure by having all those components in your diet, and also which type of foods should be taken adequately and which type of food should be taken moderately, which type of foods to be taken plenty, and which type of foods to be taken sparingly. Do you remember? Yes. Which type of food should be taken adequately? Yes, foods like cereals, pulses, milk, etc. can be taken adequately, the sufficient amounts. Whereas, which type of foods to be taken in plenty? Yes, you can say fruits and vegetables. Which vegetables means you can also take the leafy vegetables. So, these can be taken or should be taken plenty in our diet. Whereas some foods are to be taken moderately, like oils we have discussed in the earlier class, like cooking oils and animal foods. Cooking oils as well as animal foods also should be taken moderately, whereas some foods are there, they must be taken very less amounts, that is sparingly. Those vanaspati, ghee, okay, like this butter, cheese, they should be taken in a very little amount, that is should be taken sparingly. So these are the points we have discussed in the previous class, and at the end I said we are going to discuss about junk foods. So most of you, while seeing the junk foods, you want to you have very much favorite or very much favor about the junk foods. You want to eat junk foods, isn't it? What is a junk food? A junk food is an unhealthy diet. Remember, very most important point. A junk food is a very unhealthy food which contains high amount of calories in the form of sugars, fats, sugars and fats. Is it okay? No, here I used the word calorie. What is meant by a calorie? So, generally, this unit is used to measure the quantity of energy released by a body on heating. In the same way, when we consume some amount of food, it produces energy. That energy we measure in the form of calories. Okay, so calorie is the unit used to measure the amount of energy produced by a body on digestion. Isn't it? Are you able to understand now? So, when we take junk foods, I said it is an unhealthy food. It consisting of rich amount of high amount of calories in the form of sugar and fat. Sugar comes under carbohydrates. Okay, so if you consume, or if you eat, junk foods many a times, what happens? Your body fails to digest the fat content and the carbohydrates in a much faster way when compared to the general foods. So, lot of fat will be stored in your body, and your digestive system also will be affected by this, and which leads to obesity. So, if you go on consuming the junk foods, it leads to obesity. Okay, where excess amount of fats will be stored in our body, and not only this, and one more thing, you might have a confusion between a fast food as well as a junk food. Fast food may not be junk food all the times. For example, salad. You can prepare salad as fast as possible, but salad is not a junk food. Okay, so and one more thing. Okay, now all of you open your textbook part. See your page number 6. They're given two important pictures which comes under junk foods. That is pizza and burgers. Pizza as well as burger comes under junk food. Not only these two, I can also give one more example, taco. It is a Mexican dish which comes under, let me correct my students. So it's one more is taco. This also comes under junk food. It is a Mexican dish which have a roll like chapati also, and which will be consisting of some different type of ingredients which are high in calories, that is in the form of sugar and fats. And these junk foods consisting of very low amount of vitamins, proteins and minerals which are necessary for our body in some amount, in some quantities you can say. And you can see beverages also, different beverages, cool drinks consisting of, are they have very low nutritional values. That's why these are all comes under the category of junk foods. Junk foods are very unhealthy, but if you see some type of junk foods, you are readily want to eat them. So you have to control yourself and you have to take care of not eating the junk foods, as they are very rich in high amount of calories in the form of carbohydrates and fats, and they have very less amount of proteins, vitamins and minerals, that is they have very low nutritional value. Okay, my dear students, so we have taken different examples for junk foods, pizza, burger and as well as taco. It is a Mexican dish. So you have to avoid eating the junk foods in order to make your body in a healthy condition. Otherwise, if you consume lot amount of junk food, what it will happens? It leads to obesity. Okay, my dear children. Now, one more thing regarding the food habits. Regarding the food habits, the food habits of the people depends upon the climatic conditions, or as well as according to the regions also. If you take the South Indian people, our diet consisting of major content of rice, whereas when you compare to the North Indian people, they used to have diet which consisting of chapati at most, as it is obtained from wheat. So we use larger amount of quantity of rice in our diet, whereas the North Indian people use wheat major proportion in their diet, because in our South Indian region rice grows very much in our soil when compared to the North Indians, whereas North Indians can grow wheat in large quantities depending upon their climatic conditions. Okay, so food items and food dishes, these will change from region to region. Okay, and one more thing here. Yesterday we have discussed about one important thing. We used to say many a times about balanced diet. So balanced diet means make sure that our diet consisting of all the type of components. So we use it to get the food items which contain all these components. And we have remembered their very important concept that these foods should not be reheated, recooked or overboiled. And also mention one important point, after cutting down the vegetables, they should not be thoroughly washed with water, because the nutrients may last from that particular vegetable content. So these are very important. Eating of food as well as good cooking habits are also essential in maintaining a proper diet to us. Okay, now, so by this we have completed the lesson portion, and I am going to explain about history of food nutrition. So we have been discussing about all these things: proteins, vitamins, fats, roughages, water, food components, balanced diet, and we learnt about roughages, and we also learnt about junk foods. All these, so these are all comes under the branch of science nutrition. And who developed it? Who has laid foundation and made his contribution to the development of this nutrition? Let us go to the page number 7 of your textbook. Until about 170 years ago, there was little scientific knowledge in the West, that is in the European regions, about nutrition. The founder of the modern science of nutrition was Frenchman named as Lavoisier. Lavoisier, he was named as the founder of modern science of nutrition. Modern science of nutrition. So, who was called the founder of modern science of nutrition? Lavoisier. If you want to say, you can say Antoine Lavoisier. The full name you can say Antoine Lavoisier, but now it's enough to learn about him. Lavoisier was called as the founder of modern science of nutrition. And in order to explain the next topic, here I want to describe you one thing, that is when you go to 16th and 17th century years, where the discovery of different continents have been taking place. So people used to make voyages on sea through ships for a longer period of times. Sometimes they used to travel for months also. So whatever diet they take, the fresh vegetables or fruits will be lost in the first 10 days or 15 days or so. So then they have to depend upon bread or some other food items which were not fresh. So they have the deficiency of vitamin C. A disease has been caused to the particular voyages, and this was discovered by James Lind. And the deficiency disease, because of all these things, is named as scurvy. So James Lind discovered the scurvy disease and the factors led to it. I said all those factors: lack of eating fresh vegetables and fruits, that means lack of vitamin C in their body, and they use it a seasick, and all these things comes under scurvy, and this was discovered by James Lind. Okay, in order to avoid scurvy, we can cure by using fresh fruits and vegetables. So if your diet consisting of fresh fruits and vegetables, the scurvy can be cured out. And it was known that diseases could be cured by eating certain kinds of foods. We have in the first part of our this food and components chapter, we have learnt about vitamins and minerals. If our body has insufficient amount of certain vitamins, then we can have the occurrence of deficiency diseases. And we know to have some source of vitamins. So if our diet contains those sources, then we cannot have the chance of the deficiency diseases. So here, diseases can be cured by eating certain fruits and vegetables. In 19th century, it was known that the body obtains three substances, namely proteins, fats, and carbohydrates from the food. So it was discovered in the 19th century that our body is used to get carbohydrates, fats, and proteins from the food we are consuming. Okay, my dear students. So by this we have completed the lesson portion. Now I am going to read what we have learnt in this lesson. So let us go through the page number 7 only. After keywords, you have the concept of what we have learnt. Food contains some components: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Fibers are also a component of food that are present in different kinds of fruits and vegetables. All the food items contain all the components of food. The amount of each component only varies from one type of food to another type of food. So we have discussed it in the previous classes about finding the components of food in a given food item. In the concept of rice, there may be consisting of components, all the components, but the major component present in is starch, that is carbohydrate, that we have mentioned there, isn't it? Next, roughages or dietary fibers clean our food canal and prevent constipation. This also we explained in the previous two videos about the constipation and role of fibers, which adds bulk to the undigested food and makes it to pass from our body very easily, thereby preventing the constipation. And one more thing regarding water we have discussed about. Generally, we should drink minimum 2 liters of water every day. So we must drink enough water so that our body functions properly. And the food contains all the nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals in a proper proportions. That means in correct amounts is said to be called as balanced diet. And every individual requires balanced diet. Okay, my dear students. Now, all of you go to page number 4. I'm going to read the textbook lesson portion regarding the roughages or dietary fibers. Page number 4. Roughages or dietary fibers. There are some components of food that are necessary for our body called roughages or dietary fibers. Roughages in some food items. How to find out the roughages in some food items? Collect some vegetables like ribbed gourd, bunch beans, lady's finger, or some boiled sweet potato, etc. Break them or crush them into pieces, and you can observe some fine thread-like structures called dietary fibers or roughages. I have taken your bean, so you can observe in the bean, if you break it down, see. You can see a thread-like structure, this one. This is what you call our body cannot digest it, but it is very important, which we call it as roughage or dietary fibers. Not only this, we have mentioned ridge gourd also, isn't it? And also we'll mention lady's finger. Lady's finger also we can show the concept of dietary fibers. Okay, my dear students. So roughages are a kind of carbohydrates that our body fails to digest. Our body fails to digest. They help in the free bowel movement in the digestive tract and thereby preventing the constipation. This was discussed earlier. Discuss with your friends, teacher, how dietary fibers help in preventing constipation. I have explained in the previous video. And I am going to show you the dietary fiber or roughage in the lady's finger also. You can see this is a dietary fiber present in the lady's finger. Okay. Similarly, you can observe in the boiled potato also, is already mentioned, sweet potato and boiled potato, you can observe the roughages. Now, source of roughages. What are the different sources of roughages? Bran, shredded wheat, cereals, fruits and vegetables, sweet and plain potato, peas and berries, pumpkins, palak, apples, banana, papaya and many kinds of the beans are the sources of roughages. We must take care to include sufficient fiber foods in our daily diet. Generally, we have an habit of eating fruits, especially some fruits, without peels. We eat banana without peel, but fruits like apples, grapes, etc. are eaten along with peels. Most of the vegetables are also used along with the peels. Sometimes we make some special dishes like chutneys. I said rigid gourd. The outer part of the rigid gourd can be used to make chutneys. Chutneys, etc. with peels. So don't peel or discard the outer layers of fruits or vegetables, as they are rich in nutrients. Peels also contains fibers which helps in digestion. But nowadays farmers use many pesticides in the fields. They are very dangerous for our health. So we must wash the fruits and vegetables thoroughly with salt water, which was mentioned by me 2 or 3 times in the class, in that last video and previous video also. And then only it becomes very safe to eat them along with peels. And next comes under water. Water is also an essential component of food, but it doesn't have any nutritional value, but it is very essential for our body. We should drink sufficient water. Do you know how we get water from fruits and vegetables also? You can see it very easily. You can cut down a fruit or you can cut down a vegetable. You can see the liquid content in it, which is nothing but water. So, do you know you get water from fruits and vegetables also? Yes, most of the fruits and vegetables contains water. That's why our parents suggested us to eat vegetables, fruits in plenty. As we already discussed, the food item to be taken plenty. And observe the fruits and vegetables and cut them. Can you find water in them? Yes. Most vegetables like potato, beans, kira, tomatoes, gourds, and fruits like apples, papaya, and melons, etc. contain water. Okay, my dear students. So, why I have mentioned about reading these two portions? Because roughages in water plays a very vital role in our body. Even though they doesn't have any nutritional value, but they are very much essential for our body. Roughages help to have a good bowel movement in our digestive system and thereby preventing the constipation. Similarly, water, I said water, it makes the food to easily move into the digestive tract, isn't it? And also I learnt about water helps in absorbing the nutrients, and water helps to regulate our body temperature. It makes the waste to come out of the body in the form of urine. So these are all the important concepts we learnt about water. Okay, so you should also has to go through the textbook reading, and with the help of the highlighter you have to underline the important words or the new words which I can say to be underlined with the help of the highlighter. And in the next coming class we are going to discuss about improve your learning. So we have learnt this lesson topic. What is the knowledge on this particular food and its components? We are going to test ourselves in the what we have learnt. Is it visible? Okay, my dear students. So when coming to the next class part, we will discuss about what we have learnt. Till then, bye.